Let's learn about some birds this week. So here are some of the birds we have at the shelter that are up for adoption. These are lovebirds, but they're a type of parrot. 2 of them are mom and dad, and 2 of them are babies. So I believe that's mom and dad up here, and these are their babies right here. And you'll notice that they have super bright colors, and the ones that typically are up for adoption and pets are the ones with the peach colored faces. So they kind of have like orangish peachish like faces. They get to about 5 inches, anywhere from 5 to 5.5, or maybe even 6 inches would be the biggest. And they're actually from Africa, so they're mostly an African species. There's about 9 species, and this is the one that you would be able to adopt. Later on this week, you're going to learn more about parrots and how they're not great to have as pets. And if you do have them, you want to be very careful with how you take care of them, just to make sure that they're not having babies and that you don't get more than you bargained for. So these birds eat a lot of fruit, a lot of veggies, that kind of thing, and you'll notice that they have these toys hanging here, and that they're in a pretty large cage. Something about parrots, and these are lovebirds, which is a type of parrot, are that when they are in enclosed spaces, they will start to get depressed, and they do have habits of plucking their own feathers out. So you have to just make sure that they're happy. So birds like this need a large cage. Even though they're small, they need a large cage. And you would also need to make sure that there's toys so that they have what's called enrichment and that they can keep themselves busy. Some other things about these guys are that they can live up to 12 to 15 years, so they're alive for a pretty decent amount of time. So if you're going to adopt birds like this, you need to make sure that you have the time to take care of them. And just know that they're also very loud. They like to talk and sing and whistle all day. So you need to be prepared for that. And they definitely need a lot of exercise, a lot of care, a lot of love. They can't just eat seeds because they need more nutrition from other sources, so you have to give them fruit. So I know that the parrot sanctuary that we're going to be going to feeds them apples. They feed them pasta, beans, some other types of berries. And they have these toys too to keep them busy.
Some vitamin supplements.
Yep.
And they need lots of toys because that's what keeps them happy. So you want to switch them out all the time.
We have moved now from the shelter to Branford Supply Ponds. To Supply Ponds in Branford. We are on some trails right now, and we're going to take you through. We actually saw some different types of birds, so we're going to go check them out for you and get a little closer. So I'm trying to get a little closer, but there is a mama swan and 2 baby swans out there. And Dawn was saying before, you don't want to go close to them because swans have strong necks, and they will actually try to break your bones if you go near their babies because they're trying to defend them. And then there's also another bird right out here. It looks kind of like it could be a cormorant, but I can't really tell. I'm gonna try to move over. And you can tell because a cormorant has kind of like an orangish yellowish beak, and they actually dive into the water a lot. So we'll keep you posted on that one. So there's a lot of birds at the supply pond, and there's also a lot of ducks, And you'll notice these signs that are posted everywhere, and this one says, "Thank you for not feeding us bread." And it basically just talks about how bread actually makes them sick, and it makes their tummies hurt, and
their bone structure and their wings.
Yep. Yeah, it messes up their wings, so it actually makes them look injured, because it doesn't have the right nutrients. So it's like us eating candy, I guess, all the time. No fruit, no veggies.
Calcium or vitamins.
Yep. And it also can pollute the water, and will cause this green stuff that's called algae. And it actually can kill the fish, and it could actually give the birds and ducks diseases. So you can actually bring seeds. What else could you bring? You could bring
grapes, cracked
grapes.
corn.
Yep.
It says cooked rice. So if you have cooked plain white rice with nothing in it, that apparently is good for them.
Yep. And you could just chuck it into the water if you see some ducks.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, you might even see a turtle come up and eat it.
Yeah.
Turkey vulture.
And the turkey vultures that we were talking about earlier, they actually eat dead things.
Coming back this way.
And Dawn was saying earlier about how they don't hunt. They
just prey on dead things.
Yep.
Because their beak is actually not strong enough to actually. Their talons are not strong enough to actually grab onto a prey.
Yeah. You'll notice that there's also a lot of other wildlife creatures here at Branford Supply Ponds. Cassie took this video, and you'll see that there is a turtle on the rock, and he is sunning himself. There's also a lot of other animals like frogs and toads. And if you take a hike out here, you'll be able to watch all of these, look for these frogs, look for these toads. And you can also come to see the bird sanctuary. Here are another two turtles. There it looks like a adult turtle and a young little baby turtle on the log sunning themselves as well. And the bird sanctuary is cool because you'll find that they actually built them these homes. These are for smaller birds, but yeah, they have a lot of these. And here's a map of Branford Supply Ponds as well, so you can take a hike yourself.